Listen, I'm not sure you understand. We don't and never will provide lip service to our brothers and sisters. This is not a fluffy or a so cute kind of podcast. No, we are 5 veterans committed to the truth at any cost. If it's not the truth, you won't hear it here. And you know what? You might not like what you hear, but we really don't care. It'll be the truth. Our mission is to help you find the answers you're looking for on veterans issues. Our mission is also accountability. Join us each Thursday afternoon at 2 p.m. for the Minnesota American Legion Patriots broadcast. Welcome to the Minnesota American Legion Patriots podcast. I'm Mike Perry along with James Holgren, and we're really excited to have one of our own with us. Matter of fact, we're in his new office, and I'm talking about the new department VSO?
DSO.
DSO?
Yep.
Why couldn't it be VSO?
A Department Service Officer.
Okay,
So,
all right. See, already correcting me, James. I don't know. Raymond Kane's with us. You know, this is kind of a treat because we all got together. Amy Larson is the newest one on the media and communications team, and of course, then we have Chris Anderson here. And I should say, just to help you through, we've got Mike Ash, you know, the chairman of the training committee, and he'll jump in if he has to.
My backbone right there.
Right. But it's for us, it's exciting because
Yes.
one of our own has elevated and not really left the committee, but you have left the committee because you have certain duties as the department service officer. So it's new.
Yes.
This by the time this airs, you will have how many days on the job?
I would say a week and a half, maybe.
A week and a half.
So 9-10 days.
Week and a half.
So
you're here at the Veterans, the VA
Yep.
in Minneapolis,
Yes.
and that's where your office is. And of course, let's talk a little bit about just what is the Department Service Officer.
Yep. So the American Legion Department Service Officers focus on veterans and assisting veterans, but in many different realms and different ways. Making sure that I go to the veterans hospitals and do a visit once a month or twice a month to different veterans hospitals, but also the veterans home to see if there's any need that they have or what's going on. How did the legislative new laws come into play and how they're affecting our veterans, and working with some of the issues we have here. One of the big issues that came up within the week and a half I was here is the CARE program. So and I still have to get a little bit into it. I've been reading about the CARE program. A lot of veterans that have TBIs or having PTSD, they have short-term memory loss, and they're losing their caregivers because of the new programs that put out in place. And it's been suspended until October, but a lot of them are worried that it won't continue in October.
Sure.
So that's something that already I started to investigate and started looking at and started asking people questions about.
So let me ask you this. We were talking a little bit before we got started. Not only are you getting accustomed to this new position, but you're also in the makings of role description or redevelopment of exactly the American Legion's DSO.
So the committee really worked hard trying to put a job description together and trying to refocus on what the Department Service Officer is going to do. And so that's my goal, is to see if that job description is going to be the way we're going to go, or maybe we can adjust it a little bit. So some of the things that I'm doing right now is the Minnesota Veterans Assistance Fund. I want to move that forward. Sarah Schlick did a great job of getting the program Unite Us on board, and then Max worked with her on that. And that program is in place, and that is a stellar program. We can help veterans across the state and not just in our area because, we can help them move them here. We can work with resources in that area based on that program. But it's teaching and training and developing the post-service officers and the commanders on how to use that program. And she developed a sheet that you walk exactly right through it. So I got to give her all the credit on that, because I picked up that program and I just opened that form and it actually just walked me right through it, what I should do, where I should go. But right now it's trying to teach the service officers at the post on how to take care of a veteran.
So how is that funded, Ray?
Fund 85 is it's called Minnesota Veterans Assistance Fund, but it's also called Fund 85. So a lot of the people, when we get checks for Fund 85, that's what that goes for.
So when you say people, are you talking anybody that wants to donate to Fund 85, any post, American Legion post, any organization that would like to donate?
The writers did a really great job on boosting that Fund 85. I talked to Pam Krill. She is going to be starting her project and started donating to Fund 85. So we talked a little bit last night on the Zoom call. So she's starting to push that. And that's going right to veterans. All those funds are going right to assist veterans in the need. And the greatest part about it is we're working with a post, just not to use a Fund 85, but how do we work with the veterans to make sure they're taken care of, not just today by using Fund 85, but tomorrow in the future. So teaching and training people how to be financially responsible with their billing, to finding food shelves for them, to working with them with counselors to get them a job. Looking at their resume. So there's all these things I've done in this last week is, like I said, I've been busy, but I looked at a soldier's resume, how he got out of the military. We looked at maybe getting him a first or security deposit for his apartment. And it's just trying to figure out how we can assist those veterans in a quick and friendly manner, but making sure that they don't just sit there and think they're forgotten.
This is more than just a one-man job. I mean, you've got to be looking for volunteers or help. Who can you reach out to and ask for help on this?
I'm looking for any kind of help at the post. And
when we speak, for some that are new, when we speak at the post level, we're talking about Waseca, Minnesota Post 228 or Hastings or Osseo Post. That's what we're talking about.
And the biggest thing is we've called some of these posts, and some of them aren't even sure what Fund 85 is, what the Minnesota Veterans Assistance Fund is. They're like, what? So we're talking to them about this fund, and then we're getting them on board. And once again, Sarah has this form. We just email them the form. We get them on the user system at Unite Us. They look at the form. They do an investigation on it, and they say, yes, we took care, or we're going to close this because we took care of this veteran. They needed food and shelter and all this stuff. Our gambling and, like at some of the posts, they have a fund for homeless vets. We took care of them already. So then they close that. Or someone say, hey, you know what, this guy's got a car repair. We need the Fund 85. So then they can open that, transfer it to me, and then we can look at transferring to Mike, and then Mike can get that approved, and then Rachel goes and issues the check, not directly to the veterans, but the vendor that's actually working with them.
And of course, we want to talk. Mike Maxa is our adjutant, and Rachel takes care of finances.
Yeah. And they're great to work with. Mike is very excited about this program, but that's the thing is, we're working with people up in Bemidji, Sauk Center, all this, and not just in the Twin Cities. This is across the state. That's amazing. We've got people way up north that I've talked to that I've never really interacted with because, they don't go to the rallies because they're too far up.
Sure.
But we're working with them. They've got the Fund 85. They've been on Unite Us, and they're taking care of their veterans. And this process is closing the gap for days and even actually weeks. Getting veterans are taken care of by the time you mail the information and do all the emails and all this. It's boom, boom, boom.
Where do the veterans' names come from? How does a veteran? We talked about this before in our gatherings. Mm-hmm. Humility, humble. I'll take care of myself. Does this come from post? Do these veterans in need? They just don't come out of the woodwork.
A lot of our referrals right now are from county service officers. So that's really a great part because they've already established that vetting process. Our Fund 85 is 1 day of service. It's not where they qualify as a veteran, under the federal government. This is 1 day of service. They qualify for this Minnesota Department fund that we have, Fund 85. So the biggest thing is they've already went through that process and said, hey, they qualify. They're here in my Veterans County Service Officer's office, and we're going to move forward with them. So they've worked with them. A lot of them I've worked with already. They've done the counseling with them. They've worked with them on trying to get them benefits and resources. Sometimes it's that gap that we have to fill in between them getting services and then them getting actually qualified for the disability. It's that one little fund, or it's just giving them a step up to make sure that they can get going. One gentleman lost his job up north, and he just needed, already got a job, but he went 2 weeks without paycheck.
Oh, sure.
Right there, we just boosted up 1 month's rent, and this guy's doing great. And actually, I just got a check for $500 from a veteran that we assisted a couple years ago. They wanted to pay it forward.
Oh, nice.
So that's the thing. It's like, you know what? You helped us. You did a great job. Here, let me pay it forward because they're up and going right now. So But we also want to make sure we vet those veterans, and that's what Unitas does. Unitas sees and tracks how many times we've helped them, and also the dollar amount, because there's a $5,000 maximum limit for the Fund 85. So, but when they're getting close to that limit, how do we help them? You know, the old saying, teach a fisherman to fish, feed them for life, you know?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that's what we want to do. So.
We're speaking with Raymond Kane, the new American Legion Department Service Officer, here in his office. I want to back up just a bit here, because with your deep involvement with the Yellow Ribbon program, that actually, in my mind, gives you kind of a leg up coming into this position.
Yes. It's actually helped me quite a bit. My first day, I reached out to a lot of my contacts that work with in the VA system or work with helping veterans, and I made quite a few contacts. I've actually three individuals that I've got here already got them connected with somebody for Christmas. So they're already connected with a family to get them settled for Christmas that came into my office. My first day, I think I had 23 veterans come in my office, and I gave them a direction on where to go, and just a simple, hey, you know what, give me 1 second, let me call this person. Yep, bring them my way, and now they have Christmas. So there's just making sure we take those resources, and then not just within the Twin City area, but branch them out through the whole state.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So if there's any one thing on your mind right now that would be very beneficial for you and help you in this particular position, as you look at the whole gamut of everything, what would that be?
Oh, there's so many. I don't know if I could pick one. My biggest thing is, you know, getting the time to go out and see the homes and look at the VA homes and the VA medical centers and talk to the veterans that are in the wards, talk to them, how's that life going? And then also, you know, fundraising for Fund 85. I mean, who knows how much is in there, how long it's going to last, but we are working on this to push it out, and we're getting a lot of people asking for needs in our veteran community across the state. Remember, Fund 85 is not just for this Twin City area or, you know, the Moorhead area or the far. It's for the whole state. And there's a lot of veterans just need that one little leg up or that one little push. And it's just a couple $100 here, a couple $100 there, but that adds up. And we want to make sure that we never have to say no to a veteran.
Confidentiality.
Confidentiality is a big part of it, and that's why, for me, I work with the Yellow Ribbon all the time. You know, we did 158 soldiers for Christmas, and not one person knew who was getting what. You know, we've got a confidentiality thing. I'm very, you know, specific on that. But when you ask a veteran, hey, can I give your name? Yes, let's do this and make that happen.
Sure.
And especially with Fund 85, the post service officer knows, I know, Mike Maxon knows, and then Rachel. So we're not really involved in any other people on that. So the confidentiality is a big part of that. Because Mike can look at it, he can approve it. That's why Unitas is a secure platform, and that's why we really like the Unitas platform. It's secure. It's great to move forward with that, and it helps the veterans. You need a username on there. You have to have access to that username. You have to be assigned that person. So confidentiality is a huge part, and that's why we're using Unitas.
James, Amy, any of you guys with us that are not quite on camera, anything in your mind that you'd like to question Ray that others might like to hear about?
So, how do we, as a post, send to the Fund 85?
So that's simple. That's writing a check out. I can take the check. Mike Max can take the check. Jennifer, our department commander, when you're looking at gambling. So the best part about it is people have to ask for that money. You know, you go to the gambling or you go to the post, ask. You know, you're a member of the post. You don't need the gambling board to ask. Just ask and say, hey, we want to support Fund 85. There's a lot of other programs out there to support, but for me, I'm pushing Fund 85 because that's directly towards veterans, and that's going to assist them. So ask your post to donate. You know, if every post donates $100, $200, that's a big pool. And if we can do it on a consistent basis, that's going to get that pool up there. So we would never even have to come close to saying, no, we can't help that veteran, it's too much, or this or that. You know, we have that money in that fund to make sure we're taking care of veterans. And I'll keep on repeating that. Don't stand in my way when it comes to taking care of veterans. That's what I kept on telling everybody. We're going to charge forward and move forward and make sure we have that for veterans in need.
Who does it make the check out to?
Fund 85. Minnesota, I don't know.
Minnesota Department, American Legion, Fund 85.
Fund 85 in the memo, I think.
So Minnesota Department of American Legion, and then on the bottom in the memo, Fund 85.
There we go.
There you go. Thanks. I appreciate that.
Is Fund 85 a 501c3?
Yes, Fund 85 is a 501c3, so it's tax deductible, and it's also qualifies for your gambling to make sure that they have lawful purposes
Right.
and lawful expenses there. See,
What's your number one goal?
to get out and spread the word and training and developing the posts right now. I can go meet the VAs and go to the clinics, which is part of my position. That's great. But my goal is to start talking to the posts, get to the vice commanders, and get to the commanders in the district and say, hey, this is what we're doing. Let's get their support, bring it down to the vice commanders, and then when the vice commanders are in their posts, they can start talking about it. Like me and Chris, we're going to start talking about getting some of his posts in on the program and seeing if we can get them going on it.
Kind of sounds like you're getting the department's training officer involved in maybe a little bit of this as well.
We are, on my list of things to do is to meet with the training program and the training team, because we want to make sure that we have the opportunity, and Mike's looking at me, opportunity to go up to Legion College and, we don't want to talk about we did this, we did that. Let's go up to Legion College and talk about how we can help veterans. Here's Unite Us, here's Fund 85, here's how to do it, here's how to walk through it, and here's how to get it going. And this is the process. You go to Legion College, I learned so much from Legion College. I think Legion College is one of the biggest things that advanced my career here in the American Legion as trainers like Mike and the team. But let's get that opportunity for the DSO up there, not to sit there and talk about, how many veterans we helped and what legislative stuff we're doing and all that, but let's talk about how we can train the leaders in our department, in our districts, on how to use Fund 85, how to use Unite Us, and how to take care of veterans quick. When I say quick, let them, if they're calling us, you know how veterans are. They're not calling us at the, in the beginning. They're calling us at the last minute because they tried everything and anything they can do not to call us because of their pride. So they're in a crisis when they call us. Let's get them taken care of.
All right. We've been speaking with the new American Legion Department Service Officer, Raymond Kane, and I am so amazed with all the antics going behind the camera, looking at you, that you were able to hold your composure as well as you did through this whole
Absolutely.
Ray, thanks very much. And we're going to check in with you down the road.
Yes, absolutely.
Maybe 3-4 months from now.
Even sooner, because I'd like to sit there and make sure we use the media and communications team to start pushing out some information that we need for the departments and the posts.
All right. Thank you. You've been listening to the Minnesota American Legion Patriots podcast, along with James Halkern and the rest of the crew. I'm Mike Perry. And remember, till we meet again, be the one.